Hi, Hank, SixFourTrading here. We're going to talk about in this lesson support and resistance. Let's get into it. All right, this lesson isn't going to be long. I don't believe in long lessons. People have short attention spans, and support and resistance is not hard, contrary to public belief. It's very simple. Let's get into this lesson. What it's going to cover is going to be support. What is support? What is resistance? Why is it important? And examples of support and resistance. So let's get into that part of what is support. Support is when price is above a key level area that was previously historically resistance, right? And it's visited that area more than once, right? And so an example of that is you want to make sure that, let's say there's resistance here. It's been in that price area several different times, right? And so more than once is 2, 3, 4. And the more you see price in that area, when you do attempt to draw your line for that key level, the stronger that will be. So if you have 2, it's good. 3 is better. 4 and more, stronger and stronger that resistance, that support line is. Now resistance is the opposite of that. Resistance is a key level area in history that has rejected more than once time that price action or price area. So same thing as support, but it reverse, right? It's inverse. So let me give you an example of that to better give you a mental picture of what that looks like. So let's just say you are building a home, right? You don't build a home typically from the top down, you build from the bottom up. So you establish that foundation, that support area, what that's going to look like, right? And you're going to structure that and build it up to make sure that support is strong. And that's where you start getting into like multiple price levels hitting a certain area, stronger the support. And let's say I build this one section, I need to build another section. Well, this other section hasn't been built yet, but I know where to start at by looking at that previous support area. So because I see that previous support area there, now I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to start there to build my other sections up. That's support. Resistance, I look at it as you walk into a home, you walk into a structure that has a ceiling and has a ceiling. And I'm 6'4", and this is where SixFourTrading, the concept is around, because I'm tall, and 6'4" has always been classified as something tall. So you're always trying to reach new heights. Anyway, let's say the ceiling is 7 feet tall. I'm 6'4". I know I have less than a foot of jumping room if I wanted to jump up and rave or whatever, right? I know there's resistance there, how far I can go, okay? So resistance is, I look at resistance as being something like that. I know that that's where, you know, the ceiling is, and I'm gonna run into some problems there. So as you trade, you apply that to your trading, right? If you can identify resistance, if you can identify support, resistance would be, I know where I might have built or bought down here at the support level, but I need to be wary of the resistance area. I might need to get out of that area, right? Or before I get to that area, I might want to take profits there. And why is this important? Because you need to know where you've been so you can know where you're going. You need to know where your previous support level is so you can know possibly where your resistance is going to be, so you know where your entry and you know where your exit is. This is why it's important to really understand and take the time to mark up your charts of that support and resistance area. So let's jump to a chart, okay? Let's jump to a lesson. Now, in this lesson, this is a raw chart. This is live. This is active. This is the future YM. This is the Dow E-mini futures. What I'm looking at here, and I'm gonna show you some is let's look at this level here, right? So this is all-time highs. All-time highs was previously before we traced out this area here. Now on this level, I would have marked this here. Now all-time highs is a whole different thing, a whole different lesson series about price action. The things of that nature that I talk about, but you want to mark up all-time highs, right? And so let's say this came into this area of, and the next day it rejected. So this is resistance. Didn't break above this, and the next day it rejected that area. So now it's confirming this resistance. Now it pulled down, came back up again, rejected another day, and then we started a longer downtrend. Now, on this downtrend, I'm going to show you something. So there's support here, right? And why? Well, let's go back before I get into the other areas. Before, when price was moving, it came in and did the same exact thing here. You see this green candle? You got a green candle here that it made an all-time high at some point there, right? And then it pulled back. Okay, you're confirming that area as being resistance. Pull back again, come up to this area, have some issues, and we go back below it, right? Reject and go down. So it's making this even stronger confirmation that this is an area of strong resistance. Okay, you still pull back, reject, come down lower, and you finally break through here, but you retest. Now, bring up something here for you guys. Now you retest this area here. Okay, so this line I would have drawn back here as an area of resistance before it broke through here. Okay, now once it breaks through, this becomes an area of support. Keep moving up, keep moving up. So back to where we were at before, now we've rejected a couple times. We marked this area out as being an area of key resistance. Trailing down, trailing down, trailing down. What am I looking for here? Well, come back here, but before I get here, there's another area. Where do you think it's going to be at? Right here. Why am I drawing an area of support here now? Because as we broke through here, this became support. We got a rejection here. We got a rejection here. We have a rejection here. This is another area of resistance at this point in time in price action. Not over here. Before we trace this out, this became an area of rejection. We break through finally, come back down below, and we kind of stop here where we gap up when we go, right? So then I'm looking, look at this. So as this is coming down, the first place I'm going to look for is right here, because this has been another area I've drawn out here as an area of resistance that is now support. So I'm expecting as a probability that this may bounce, may hold here, and maybe go back up higher. It did exactly that. It stopped here. It tried to go higher, but it rejected it. Now we come down and we break through that level. Okay, so we broke this level. Where do I think it's going to go now? Back to the other previous level of support that I drew here, right? This is a strong area of support. Now it gets down here, it holds, pushes back up, kind of rejects this zone area up here, comes back down, tests that support again, goes back up, and now it breaks through, right? So now, because it's trading around this area, this is now considered support and not resistance. We go back up to where? Where do I think this is going to go? If I'm trading in this area, where do I think it's going to go back to as we broke through? I think we're going to go back to the previous strong area of resistance and test it again. Now, it could break through or it can reject. I don't know. But as it gets close to this area, what am I thinking and what do I want to do? Because I'm planning out my trade. I want to get out. I want to take something or trim my position very heavily here, because I don't know if this is going to reject or break through. I want to wait to see. The most important thing, one of the most important things about trading is patience, right? And taking your time and planning your trade. That patience allows you to pull back and say, let me just be patient and let me wait, see if I'm actually going to break through here or reject. So what happened? We rejected. Price starts to come down. As it starts to come down, where do I think it's going to go? To the previous level of support. And that's exactly where it's at right now, present moment, as I'm recording this series. So that's it. That's support and resistance. It doesn't take long. It's not hard. You're looking for previous price level pivot areas or stop areas. Stop area. We break through. Okay, great. We're having problems. We're rejecting. Okay, this is an area of resistance. I want to draw a line there. We break through. Okay, we test it here. We go back up. We break down below. We break up here. But we gap up. Okay, now this is a strong level of resistance. So in history, as I'm trading over here, I've already have this line drawn out. So now I already know where the previous level support is and the resistance is in the area of where the price is currently trading. It's all dependent on where the price is relevant. I would say that, in the area where the price is previously trading. You want to make sure you draw these out. This is not hard, guys. This is pretty easy. You just have to lock it into your brain by going back and doing some back testing, looking at other charts and doing the same thing. This is all support and resistance is. That's it. Not going to make this video long. I thank you for joining. We have lots more lessons, series, price actions, things like that. Candlesticks, which is the foundation of everything in the foundational series. You have to understand what a candlestick is. But I thank you for joining. I'm Hank for SixFourTrading, and thank you. Enjoy and become a better trader. Thank you.